Hi, and welcome to the July edition of Inspired Messages Monday. It's Sue here, and I'm here in France at the moment, experiencing very hot weather. I know it's not quite got there to you if you're in the UK. I know it's not as warm, but it's about 36 degrees here, so it's very warm. And so I'm kind of taking it easy, not doing too much, drinking lots. But I think you're going to get it, as well. So enjoy it when you get the nice weather. So what's in store? Well, one of the things that's come up in the messages is that it is a time of preparation and that you have the tools that you need to get the job done. So it's not about procrastinating, and it is about if you see injustice around you, it's time to speak up. It's time to speak for those that can't speak for themselves, and this can be in any area of your life or the life that a life around you. So it's really important that you do that. It's also what has also come up, and I know this keeps coming up, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's about going back to the old ways of living and not relying on maybe drugs, trying to look after yourself in a natural way, and think about what you're doing when you're eating, and because we are what we eat, basically. And also, it's about taking a rest or pausing, because we do so much rushing about. We rush here and we rush there. So what I've learned is that, and what keeps coming up as well, and what I keep being shown, is that we need to pause and take a time out for ourselves, even if it's just for 3 minutes every so often. Please take time out for yourself. Go and walk in the garden, sit in the garden, or go for a walk, or do some meditation, or just be still to do some reflection. And the other thing is that to be kind to people. So if that is a possibility, and people need kindness at the moment, don't they? So be kind to everybody, and be focused, and realize this is a time of transformation. We are going through times of change, and we can see that on the world stage. And it also means that we ourselves are going through the changes as well, and it affects us all. Okay, so starting today with the transits, which is the 1st of July, we've got that Mars is going into the sign of Leo. Now, Mars is a planet going into a fire sign. So lots of energy here, and it will stay there until the 18th of August. This is going to give a lot of self-confidence, a lot of motivation, and a lot of optimism to do what you want to do. And any kind of grand schemes that you have should pay off, grand gestures with plans. But watch out that you don't overdo it, because when you have all this fire around, you don't tend to stop, which is, obviously I've said take time out and pause. So this would be really good during this time. So it doesn't mean not to get anything done, but when you stop and you reflect, actually you get more done. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Cancer, and also a total solar eclipse. So this is the effects of the eclipse will last about 6 months, and it's going to bring a big shift on the world stage, but also into our own lives. And because it's in the sign of Cancer, it is to do with home and family, where you live, and your significant others that you love very much. And so, because it's the moon as well, your moon is in your emotions, and it's in its own sign. We call it, because it belongs in Cancer, so it's very, very strong. And so there's going to be an emotional reset on the home and domestic and emotional front. And as I say, with having the total solar eclipse as well, this is a massive energy. I think maybe if you are a water sign, particularly a Cancerian, or you have your moon in Cancer, it may be going to affect you maybe more because you're an emotional person anyway. So then on Wednesday, Wednesday the 3rd, we're going to have a Venus moving also into the sign of Cancer, and it will be there till the 28th of July. And this is going to be a time of romance, romantic love, and longing to be with your partner, longing to be in a relationship if you're not in one, and definitely being with somebody that you love. Because Venus is the planet of relationships, and it's in Cancer, which is a very kind of caring sign. So it might be that you are caring for somebody that you love very much as well. So on Thursday the 4th, the moon will conjunct Mars, and obviously Mars, as I've talked about, is about energy, and you're going to see the moon and Mars in the night sky, so look out for that. They'll be together, but because they're together, it's going to affect us all on an emotional level. So whatever is happening in the day of the 4th, that's a Thursday, or the evening, you're probably going to be short of patience. You're going to be impatient, and you're going to want to move things along pretty fast in some way, but be aware of that, and don't push for things that are not right. Okay, on Friday the 5th, the moon is going what we call void of course. Now this means it's not going to make any connection to any other planet. From 7:24 a.m. on Friday morning until 5:25 a.m. on Saturday morning. So during that time, that's all day Friday, try and not do anything that's needs to something being permanent, or start anything new, book any holidays, do anything that is completely new that you've not thought about before. Because what happens when the moon is void of course, things come to nothing. So it's a really not good to do anything new on that kind of void of course moon. So wait until Saturday if you're going to do something that's completely new. And then on Monday the 8th, Mercury is going to go retrograde, and that's going to be until the 1st of August. So that's kind of 3 weeks. It's going to be retrograde, and as you probably know, when Mercury's retrograde, then communication can be a problem. Emails get lost, contracts get lost, things go missing. And so it's really important that you're aware of that, and so you need to double check everything. Make sure that that you speak to people, don't leave things, ask them if they've received your documents, especially if they're important. It's going to bring communication problems. But I always say when Mercury's retrograde, it's a good time to reflect, it's a good time to go within, and it's a good time to take stock. So use the Mercury retrograde time as a time of reflection. Now also on Monday we're going to have Venus sextiling Neptune. So this can bring inspiration, and it can inspire you to do great art if you're artistic. It can also bring romance and also spirituality into your life. And also on the same day, which is very different, we're going to have Venus conjunct the Saturn. So we've got Mercury going retrograde, we've got Venus sextile Neptune, which is very lovely, and then we've got this Venus conjunct Saturn. So this can bring structure into your life when it comes to relationships or money, or somebody may criticize you, or you may criticize yourself, but there will be concerns maybe over finance and relationships. But remembering that those two transits, not the Mercury retrograde, but the Venus Neptune and the Venus Saturn, are only for Monday. And then on Tuesday the 9th, we're going to have the Sun opposite Saturn, and this is a day for structure. It brings solid growth, actually. Remember to remain humble. Don't be dogmatic. Don't be, very forceful, because this can bring that into the mix. It's a great transit, actually, on that day, as we also have the waxing half moon. So your goals that you set on your new moon back on the 2nd can be worked on. So any effort that you need to put on into those new goals that you made on the 2nd of July, put more effort into them on Tuesday the 9th. And then on Thursday the 11th, the Sun is going to be trine Neptune. So this can bring another artistic day. It can bring mystical experiences. It may mean that you want to be connected to spiritual things. Maybe you want to meditate. You'll be extremely sensitive maybe to the energies around you, and your dreams may have some kind of meaning. So make sure that you write them down. Have a notebook by your bed. And on Friday the 12th, we're going to have a Mars squaring Uranus. Now Mars is this fire planet, and it's squaring Uranus, which is the planet of unpredictability, and it is a square, so it's a challenge. So this can make you irritable. You need to watch out for accidents. Make sure you're concentrating. If you're backing out of the drive, make sure you're watching everything. Don't do it without thinking, or if you're reversing around the corner or coming out of a car park or anything like that, you really need to watch what you're doing on that day, because that can be an accident-prone transit. So take time out, have that pause, have that stillness in the day on Friday the 12th. And Sunday the 14th, we're going to have the Sun opposite Pluto. Now, Pluto is the agent for change, but it can also bring power issues or control issues into the mix. So if that's happening around you, just be very aware of it. If it's being done to you, back off, back away, don't be drawn in. It's certainly better to use this energy for good, to transform things around you, to do preparation work, because it is a great transit for doing good. It is the agent for change. But just watch that it's not being used in a negative way, either you using it or somebody's using it against you. So watch out for manipulation from those people around you. And finally, the affirmation is hand on heart. Say this every morning. I use my power for good to transform the world around me. I use my power for good to transform the world around me. Okay, so if you take my newsletter, I will be writing this month on the Gene Keys visit that I made to Budapest. It was really interesting. If you're the kind of person that likes self-development and likes to understand more about yourself, more about your purpose, then the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, you can Google that if you want. you know, is really worth doing. But I will be writing more about that on my newsletter, which goes with this video. And if you want a chart or if you have you know, a problem and you think an astrology reading, or you know, would help, or having a consultation with me would help, then please get in touch. For anybody born under the sign of Cancer or Leo, I'm doing the chart at a special price of £85. I do 2 to 3 hours work, and then we have an hour and a half together. So it's very in depth, and it does help people move forward if they've got something they need to make a decision on. And don't forget my courses, my astrology course on Udemy. You can get the link to that on my website, which is www.astrologysue.com, or my life purpose course, which is the 3 W's lifepurposetutor.com. Or just get in touch and we can have a chat about anything that you know you have a problem about. So enjoy the next month. I will come back to you at the beginning of August, and yeah, enjoy the weather, and take that pause and be kind to people. So bye for now. Bye bye.